going on, world? It's Jay, Trey, and Doc. Retcon in full effect. 3, the hard way, coming to you live. If you have not already, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, hit the notification button. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your sister, tell your whole family about Retcon and how we discuss pop culture and blend it with social commentary that relates to us in our everyday walk of life. And for those who are following, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And just before we jump into this, I want to give a shout out to one of our followers, William. He had a very extensive list. I don't think Doc you got to see it, where he commented on the Superman episode. And see, look, the shirt brought it up. So see what I said.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't even say a word. I didn't say a word.
And he talked in very much depth as far as what he liked, what he disliked, and his top 3 Supermen. So, and he's actually one of our very astute and dedicated followers who definitely is a Rhett Cognac, you know.
We got to work on that. We got to work on that.
All right. We'll work on it.
I like Red Cognac. I like that.
Red Cognac? Bet. All right, look, you outvoted, Trey. All right.
It's like the Justice Gang. Oh, I did it again. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord. Okay. So shout out to him and shout out to everybody who's been on our page, the Facebook page, the YouTube page, just been commenting. Shout out to those who gave us some love at the who was in the area in Gaston County Public Library, Comic-Con. Just shout out to everybody who's been really staying in tune, and we really appreciate it. And so we're definitely going to get into it now. But before we jump into it, one last time, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Doc's T-shirt. I mean, as you all know, we're going to jump into, if you don't know, we're going to jump into the Fantastic Four review. But Doc, if you can just give a little back history on the T-shirt, please.
Okay. So, and mind you, I think I'm going to make a post to show some love. But here's the deal, man. When folks ask me about this movie, or I ask them and they say they like it, my immediate response is, that's awesome. Like, I'm glad you liked it. That's cool. And that's it. You know, DC need a win. So I'm happy. It sparks, interest. It sparked interest about other characters and everything else. But then the question is then returned to me. Did I like it? And that's the thing. Everybody, when they see movies, most of the time they come here like, Doc, did you see it? Because they want to talk to me about it.
Yeah.
And I said, I didn't like it. And then it just deteriorated.
They're like, what?
But they won't respect the fact. Like, I respected the fact that they liked it, but they won't respect the fact that I did not like it. And then when I list the reasons and enumerate everything and then go in detail, it's just like, what up? And sadly, I've actually got a couple of people to actually now switch and go, you know what? I'm not liking it that much.
Oh man, you converted some people?
Oh, that's horrible. I'm not trying to steal people's joy, but then when you make me burn it, I got no choice. But that's because people keep coming at me.
Jubilation.
And then when I try to back down, they keep coming. And so then I'm just like, hey, I just this is my retort. Like Haley even said she loved the movie. And we've talked about everything, but she's getting so much joy by my pettiness and my just like how I just now am just raging because, and she's seen it, people coming at me, they just won't let me be. So, hey, and this is from the movie.
How many times have you wore the shirt?
Oh, this is the first time. This is his grand premiere.
Grand premiere. Okay. All right.
I was getting this done for the show. Like it smells so freaking sweet. It's fresh, bro.
The opposite of the emoji. Gotcha. Trey, do you have any comment on this shirt before we jump in? I mean,
this is not about him. This is about the movie.
All right, there we go.
I said that. I was like, he's a fine Superman.
Right. It's the movie itself.
Go ahead, Trey.
All right.
No, not really.
Not really. Right. It just, I mean, I was at a loss of words when he posted it on Facebook. I was just like, I know exactly my reaction. I looked at my wife and like, babe, he's at it again. That's exactly what I said.
Me and my shenanigans.
Well, what we can agree on, and if hopefully I am not being presumptuous, it is a unanimous decision that Fantastic Four First Steps overall, for the most part, is a great movie. Are we able to agree on that?
I'm gonna let Trey go first.
Oh my
Trey,
gosh. Okay, well hold on. Before y'all go first, okay, let's jump into the review real quick. So
no. We can do this. Trey, go ahead.
okay,
I liked it. I liked it.
I liked it. So let's go. It's unanimous
That
that
at
the
least it's
Retcon Squad, no, we're not retconning. That we thought we liked it.
yeah,
So
we
hey, there you go.
gotcha. You know what, Doc? That's actually pretty good. So whenever there's a movie one of us don't like, it needs to be retconned. And in your opinion, Superman, James Gunn Superman needs to be retconned.
Oh, it
Pretty
needs
much.
to be retcon. That needs to be like burned in like effigy, bro. Anyway,
Well, I'm glad that's not the case for the Fantastic Four, the first steps. Now, as we can tell, and from our own personal perspectives, as well as almost the world, the general consensus is that this is the first film of the Phase 6 of MCU for their multiverse saga. It's a hands down a great movie. It's 86% right now currently at Rotten Tomatoes and 92% in the audience score. So again, we got that unanimous decision that it is a great movie. So
we
let's
didn't
just jump
say
in.
we did wasn't unanimous that it was great.
What?
you didn't say
What
great.
you mean, what?
That's
Okay,
why I
but
answered.
like and great ain't that the same thing?
And
No,
then I had to elaborate. I mean, I'm not elaborate. I had
Trey,
to.
I'm gonna pivot to you. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. You
So
got.
why isn't it a great movie?
I just didn't think
Well,
it
I
was
think
great.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I think we should
I
just focus
did.
on the fact that we all like it.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
I like
okay.
it. Though. I
That
definitely like it.
I saw
All
that
right.
Trey wasn't going great, so
So
I didn't
so
want
let's
to. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. So let's break it down then. Let's jump right into it as far as the character portrayals. Let's divvy this thing up, right? Okay, so as far as the casting and just the casting in general, how did the movie do?
I was worried about Pedro Pascal, but I thought he was fine
Yeah, I
as
did too.
Mr. Fantastic. I thought she killed Sue.
Mm-hmm.
There are
Vanessa
things
Kirby?
about Sue that I think we've mentioned before that maybe I'll talk about later that she embodied
Mm-hmm.
like perfectly.
Yeah.
I thought he was good. I think he could have been more of a pretty boy, but he pulled it off. I thought he was a good Johnny. And Thing, the only gripe I had about Thing was I felt he should have been a tad taller.
Yeah, I agree.
Tad. I've seen some comments actually where the height actually probably is appropriate.
Yeah.
But I just felt like when I see him going against the Hulk,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Well, the Hulk is bigger than the Thing, isn't he?
yeah, he is tall. He absolutely is. But I just needed him to be a little bit taller, in my opinion. That was it.
Gotcha.
I agree.
What about Galactus? How did you feel about his portrayal, Trey? I mean, obviously, and before you give me your opinion, I found it interesting, and you were right when because if I text, you ever text anything or say something to somebody, and then when someone gives you a response, you're like, oh, you know what? You're right. I don't even know why I said that. Right? Because I asked, I think I said best Fantastic Four movie thus far, and I
Yeah.
think you had said something to the lines of not saying much because of the evidence of the other Fantastic Four movies that we've had, right? Right. So I was about to ask you, how did you feel about Galactus? I mean, because apparently this one was done right as opposed to Rise of the Silver Surfer that had him as a cloud. But I mean, how did you feel? Did he carry that, the menacing stature of Galactus?
Yeah, I thought that he was kind of terrifying, to be quite honest with you. I think they did a good. I think overall, I think they did a good job. I think the characterizations were good. I thought I wasn't even worried about. I'm tired of seeing Pedro Pascal and everything, but
Because he is in everything. It seems,
he's
right?
in everything. But no, I thought it was, I thought it was all good. I agree with. I thought the Thing was too small, but it was weird because there were just moments where he looked too small.
So to his point, they did it with the Thing and they did it with Galactus. They had a scaling issue.
Yeah.
So when Galactus, I felt when he was walking through, he needed to be bigger. And when he first arrived, he was, but then all of a sudden he was a little smaller. And they had same thing with the Thing. They had this kind of scaling thing going on with him where I don't think his size was consistent.
No, it wasn't.
So then, in your guys' opinion, some of these characters were true adaptations of the characters that they derived from in the comic books, but then you have maybe like the Thing who, I saw a term online where people say MCU-fied, like as in this is a MCU version as opposed to a comic book version. So then the Thing would be more of an MCU version than a comic appropriate. And we think about and you're right. I'm gonna rely on your expertise, Doc. You more than likely you're right as far as the Thing. I just think about comically appropriate representations and how would they look as far as on the big screen, right? Because you think about Hugh Jackman, he's tall in real
Mhm.
life, but Wolverine is so short in the comic books.
Like he was
And
in that one
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
right, and we got to see comic accurate Wolverine in the Deadpool.
Nobody don't want to
Wolverine.
see that though, for real. Like
Not
seriously.
that
So
bad.
so
That was too much. I would like to see little Wolverine smaller, but not that small.
But not that small. But look, Trey, look behind Josh. You can't even see the
He
thing.
couldn't,
That's what
yeah.
I needed. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
that's what was
gotcha,
I
missing.
think he should have been about that tall.
Yeah.
But he
gotcha.
wasn't. He was probably a little bit. He was actually probably about as tall as Mr. Fantastic.
And there
At
were times
moment.
where he looked shorter than
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. There were times where he looked shorter than everybody. It
So
was
the
weird.
evidence is behind you, bro. That's
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I found it online too. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
what about Shalabar, Silver Surfer?
Trey, you want to go first?
So here's
No
the thing.
opinion?
Well, here's the thing, right? So there's a burden that the two of you carry that I don't carry.
Uh
Mm-hmm.
huh. Yeah.
And that burden is comic book reference to all of this stuff, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
because I
Correct.
wasn't huge in the comics, certainly not, I wasn't reading the Fantastic Four at all.
Hmm.
Cool. I know whenever you see the Silver Surfer,
Yeah.
Bad things.
trouble is a brewing. It
That.
worked. Now I will say, I don't know how deep we're getting
Hmm.
into we're talking about character portrayals.
Yes. Yes.
I think this movie had some of the same issues that Superman had in terms of because
Really.
they dropped us into a world that already existed, then you didn't have a lot of
Mm,
character development, right?
Mhm.
And so
mm,
even Silver
okay.
Surfer it always shocks me when it's like she's a threat, she's a threat, she's a threat, she's a threat. Oh, she saves the day.
She's an ally.
Right. She's an ally. And it just happened so fast that what I wish is that
Hmm.
because there's two times now they brought the Silver Surfer and Galactus into a movie together. Let the
Yeah.
Silver Surfer set up Galactus further down. Because to me, I know what they're doing. I know why they truncated everything because they're trying to
Hmm.
get to the events of Doomsday and so on and so forth.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
if you allow me to like really buy into the fact that the Silver Surfer is a threat, because she really didn't do much, right? Like she came in, she talked to him, she said, "Hey, dude gonna eat the planet. Get up out of here. Love you people." Uh, and she flew around a little bit, and it was cool to see her surfing. That was kind of cool, but
Yeah.
like it was so fast that you didn't really get development of character. Because I even look at like the thing Ben Grimm. They
Hmm.
hinted at his struggle, but they didn't. It wasn't a part of anything. It was like I'm
Hmm.
sad for this one scene, and ooh, that girl might like me, and I want to go talk to her, but I look like a rock dude.
Hmm.
And then it was over. It was gone. It wasn't. It was the tension wasn't in the characters. The tension was in the events, which I get. But I think Superman suffered from the same thing. It's like, man, you're bringing these characters in, and I don't know them. I don't get to know them, right? Because you're building a world,
Hmm.
and so that to me that was something that was missing for me in this movie. So
So you didn't think there was like a threat level with her when she was chasing them as they were uh, in that space trying to get
When they're in
Shalabar
the
trapping the,
wormhole.
because the baby, because he wanted the baby. He spoilers. He wanted Franklin, and then she
You
was
say
very
spoiler
innocent at
first,
that point,
bro.
trying to
You say
snatch that
spoiler
baby up, right?
first.
no.
Huh?
I say you say spoiler first, not after you give the
I
freaking.
mean, that'd be all right, man.
he'd be like, this happened and this happened and this happened.
They'll put the tag on. Okay, put the tag on the title. Spoilers. Okay, and they'll know before they watch the episode.
Oh yeah, this is spoilers here. No, I think she
I
was
gotta
a
get better
threat.
at that.
I think she was a threat for a scene.
Right.
She was a
Oh
threat for a
wow.
scene.
So to his point, yeah, like at first there was this big thing, and I was like, oh, here they go again. Like, why did they pick, Shalla for to be
Hmm.
the Silver Surfer instead of Norrin Rad?
Hmm.
And people were up in arms about that. But I actually also thought for a quick second, I was just like, she may not be long for this this
Yeah,
world,
yeah,
and they may still be able to then introduce, because we know this is an alternate type of reality.
mhm,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it wasn't bad, and I mean, and she served the purpose. But he's
Hmm.
like he said, it was like this. I'm coming to do this. I really didn't even get a chance to see her cut you loose. They talk about the
right,
power cosmic, and they were already talking about it with Franklin.
yeah,
But
Hmm.
she has the power cosmic. I have yet to see, even in the old movie, the Fantastic Four 2, this dude utilize an energy beam whatsoever.
Right.
Like that is a power part of
Gotcha.
his power set. This dude is
Yeah.
on the level of strength with the Hulk. Yes, he's super fast, but that dude is like energy projection is a part of this thing, and we never get to see it.
Yeah.
We get to
Yeah.
see him phase through stuff, which we rarely ever see him do, if ever. I don't remember him phasing through anything in the comics, but he
Mhm.
ends up doing that, and so or,
Mhm.
and she does it. But
Mhm.
she was cool to see. I
Yeah.
thought she did what she was supposed to do.
Yeah, decent.
Like
That
Trey
was decent.
said, it kind of got truncated. But to a counter argument, they said that this wasn't supposed to be like an origin thing again, and I
Right.
think Ben's
And I
Ben's
respected that
mental
actually.
condition centers around the whole origin part and him just that story's been told. Like they don't want to tell it again, and I
Right.
think the story's been kind of told that
Yeah.
that's a part of him and Reed thing. Reed is supposed to be fixing him, and Reed never fixes him.
Never fixes him, and he shows remorse for that. If you watch the movie
Yeah,
and you see those parts where like he's feeling guilty, I should have calculated that, and Sue's like, "No, it's okay." And then
right.
he had that intimate conversation with Ben where they're talking, and he's speaking to about Ben calling him, "You're not the smartest man on the planet. I should be. You know how to cook." That's more. So I don't know what he
Art
said. Something,
or
huh?
art.
You're right. Than science. So I mean, so you got a little bit of that, and but you also got to keep in mind in the interview with the director, there was tons more that he had in the movie, including John Malkovich as Red Ghost.
Yeah.
That I thought
Yeah.
that would have been such a little bit of a nice little egg there, but we got to keep in mind like there's the movie that came out versus what they actually had because there was also a scene where Ben was supposed to be on the dating show and then they didn't cue that in as well. So there may have been more as far as the Silver
Right.
Surfer, but I also think Silver Surfer is very OP, and they like energy beams. I'm thinking you let me know an energy beam could eviscerate one of them. Could they not? I mean, isn't the Silver Surfer that strong? He could
Oh,
turn
yeah,
them into dust.
absolutely. He
Right?
probably
Exactly.
could. But I mean, that's where you got Sue. Make her because they made her OP in this, bro. She
Oh,
was
oh,
OP.
oh man.
But
Okay.
at some point, she could have been a counteract to his, power cosmic, like at
Okay.
least deflecting
Gotcha.
those beams.
What you got, Trey? What you got, man?
Man, I don't care if they shot it and it wasn't in the movie. They're still
Right.
what they got to
Oh
do
my
with that?
God.
I'm just saying. My point is still my point. Like,
Uh
okay,
huh.
cool. So this is what my fear is, though.
Go
Right?
ahead. Uh huh.
My fear is, are we be, because of the trajectory that they're going in? Are we
Yeah.
going to get this? Right? So if you don't
Mm-hmm.
get it in the first part of the problem is they made a 2-hour movie, so a less than 2-hour movie. So I get that. But
Mm-hmm.
I just think stuff like that is so integral to the character. Like, dude, I'm walking around as a
Mm-hmm.
rock formation. This
Mm-hmm.
sucks, right? It's so integral to the character that if I don't know that that's coming because all of a
So
sudden,
this brings up a good point. Well, 2 points. One,
Which talked about the plot and pacing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
they could do it in reverse like they did with Spider-Man. Because they essentially did that in reverse. They said we weren't doing the origin story, and they actually ended up doing, I feel like, an origin story. Like they did it
Mm-hmm.
where his Spidey sense, all of that stuff came in subsequent movies.
sure, sure,
Aunt May became his Uncle Ben. He ended
yeah,
up being the poor kid living in the Soho loft. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was almost done in reverse. So they could do that. But this
Mm-hmm.
also goes to my point about everybody's like getting mad at comic book people
Mm-hmm.
because they're like, oh, you're just, you're too critical, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Who are these movies made because of? It's because of freaking us. Because we freaking brought an interest to this. And then it's almost like there's an assumption made that we know this stuff. Trey didn't. Trey's like, I needed to see this. When we're like, okay, I know what this is. I know, this story. I know such and such. Okay, which
Yeah.
one is it going to be
yeah,
then?
yeah,
So
yeah.
this kind of really segue into the next one, which is plot and pacing, and you guys already touched on it. So kind of just get a straightforward answer. Should this have been an origin movie, or was it better that it wasn't?
Nope, it should not have
No,
been an origin movie. I'll let Trey go. I gotta go lock the door.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
no. It most certainly shouldn't have been an origin movie.
Okay.
Because that's just it's kind of played at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's played at this point. And again, I also know what they're trying to get to. Like Marvel had to me, and not to keep bringing Superman up into this, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
there is a there's a similarity with what Marvel had to do and what DC had to do, where
Mm-hmm.
Marvel has been missing, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Marvel has been missing. And even though um
Yeah.
Thunderbolts was well received, it still didn't
Yeah.
make any it didn't make any money. Nobody went to see it. It didn't really make an
Mm-hmm.
impact. So they needed a movie to come out and make an impact,
Mm-hmm.
be immediate, and begin to move you towards this cataclysmic event that's on the horizon. And
Yeah. Yeah.
they don't have, 10 years to do it like they had before, right?
Right. Right.
So you
Right.
under those circumstances and pretenses, you can't make it an origin. And origin movies tend to be boring, man.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with
Mm.
you. Like, as much as I love Batman Begins, I
Yeah.
fast forward to when he shows up and he's talking to Gordon at the precinct. Right? So, like,
Wait. When he's talking, wait, is that towards the end?
no, it's
You
about
talking
the
about to
very
the
beginning.
precinct?
Well, when
Oh, oh,
he shows up and Gordon is at the desk and he's holding a stapler to his head.
oh yeah. Okay.
I'm
Wow.
going
That's you
right there.
fast for a lot of exposition. All right.
Yeah, I'm going right there, buddy. I don't care because I've seen it already. I'm cool. That's not
Exactly.
exciting to me.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Gotcha.
no, that origin stuff is over. I hope so.
So was it enough depth then? I mean, I know you spoke on the thing, there not being enough depth as far as, his turmoil over being a rock solid creature, but was there at least a good bit amount of depth overall in the movie, emotional wise?
I think the story that they meant to tell is the story that they told, right? I think
Mhm.
that I have no gripes about that. This was largely Sue Storm's movie.
Okay.
And I would say that they're probably setting up Mr. Fantastic to take a leadership role moving down in the
Mm,
future. So I
okay.
thought that was great. I thought their dynamic was great. I thought there were times their relationship felt real. I think the characters they took the backseat were obviously Johnny and third, and then Thing fourth.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so I mean, I get what they were doing. It was a lot going on. There was a lot of movie here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What did you think, Doc? Was there a good enough substance in this movie, or was it just more spectacle? And a twofold question, regarding the characters, were there enough substance in them as far as the family dynamic? Did it feel like the comic books? This was the
Oh yeah,
perfect
I
family.
absolutely feel it was substantive. Like this is the family and the family dynamic that I appreciated and I loved about it. Like that's the thing about Sue, and that's why I appreciate her so much because Sue is all about family.
Hmm.
And I mean, she says it over and over in comments, like, you don't mess with my family. And you
Hmm.
saw that embodied in this in her. And
All
you
right.
saw Reed in his moments of, just being so calculating and her bringing him down from that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was
yeah,
definitely the yin to his yang. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
And like even that one point where she knew, like I totally sympathize with him because I do this myself when I like think of worst case scenarios so that didn't happen. So when he was going through that, I'm like, bro, I am feeling you about this. And
Mm.
then when we got to that part, and she was just like, I know what needs to be said. He wanted to talk, and she just said, no, this is over. And she was out. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I know. Right? Yeah, like
and
yeah,
then you saw that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
saw just elements, the science. Remember when I talked about the science of Superman and how, like, if you're going to dictate what your science is, you need to
yeah,
stick to it. They did that. They
yeah,
did that over and over in this movie, and I appreciated that. And even when they didn't do it, the stuff seemed like it was grounded in reality to me, even though there is some fantasy to it. So when he said, Johnny, you got 10% on this, when
yeah.
Johnny got 10%, he was done.
He was
Okay.
done. Like yeah,
They showed
right.
that.
Burned
Even
up the
though
oxygen. Yeah,
I had to take
The
my doctor hat on for a second because I was like, man, if she delivered out in space, there would have been amniotic fluid. And you as a husband, you know how deliveries go down, John.
I do. I've been to two.
Like, yeah, there would have been problems up in that joint. But they did
Uh-huh.
touch on something when I saw her like sling Johnny aside. That's a woman in labor. You ain't telling her anything. She's like, you are not strapping me down.
Right, right. That
And
was
I'm
good.
like, that's real. But at the
Yeah,
same point, I'm like, there wasn't anything. But then he was like, hey, you need gravity to. I was like, see, I like how you doing this stuff.
yeah.
That, like I said,
Okay.
pacing, substance, tugging
Good.
at, your heart. I thought they did a great job with, all of that. Yeah, I had no real, like I said, I can nitpick that stuff, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
nobody wants to see what a delivery looks like in space.
No, they don't want to see the poop that could happen because that could happen.
And My point to people like you shouldn't do water births. There's problems with that.
Right.
We're not gonna get into that.
Right. Don't get it. No. We don't gross nobody out. I mean, but it's real though. It's real.
It is
It
real.
is
It's real, but they don't need
real
to see
thing.
that on the screen.
I think the only probably gripe that I had, I'm gonna try not to get into it because we got a segment for critiques. The baby, it gave me Twilight Breaking Dawn flashbacks because the baby's kind of CGI looking. Yeah, it was looking crazy. Just,
You mean
just a
in the
little bit.
belly or
No,
after
no,
delivery?
No, after. I don't like the CGI baby.
Real baby. Yeah, that CGI baby thing was weird, man.
Yeah.
It's always weird. But Doc, you right, and yes, I just admitted that
they were put, some of the cases material that was on the spec and all that other stuff. They were able to put that on the baby, so I was like, good. That looked realistic at least from a delivery standpoint, because these babies be coming out like clean, and that's not cool.
And that's not real. No. But more on that in another segment in another time. And yes, I did admit that I watched Twilight. Do not judge me. My wife made me watch it, and we're gonna move on.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Whatever, we're moving on.
All three of them.
Don't do that. I watched the whole series. Yes, leave me alone. Now, anyway, Team Jacob. Anyway, so we're gonna move because Doc, you actually talked about Reed.
He got a shirt, Trey.
I ain't got no shirt. No. We didn't go that far. I ain't got no shirt. No.
You got a Team Jacob shirt, man.
I ain't got no team nothing shirt, man.
Okay, where the missus? Let's ask the missus.
Oh no, she gone. So guess what? You gotta take my word for it, which is true.
I'm gonna show you how much I know. I don't even know who Jacob is.
There you go.
That's weird. Okay. Well, you know what? I mean, I think Messiah was in high school when it first came out, and she was on it too. So that's how I got put on. Well, Natalie got put on, then I got put on. But why are we still on this? Moving on, Doc. You had talked about Reed Richards and his way of thinking, and that's gonna make me skip over these points and go straight to real world reflections. I looked up online, and somebody had a huge post speaking to Reed, stating that this Reed Richards may be neurodivergent, specifying that it might be some type of being on the spectrum. Yes, right. That's how his mind operates, and he can't help it. He misses social cues into all that degree. Do you feel like that actually may be a parallel to a real life mental health condition, or somebody's just reaching?
It could be possible, but I've never thought of. If you read the comics, Reed was not as focused and just anal about stuff how he was. He has a tiny bit of a flair to him, but the way he portrayed him, I could see how somebody could think that he had some type of condition because he was able. But then I would see him show moments of compassion. I would see him show step away from I'm just being too neurotic.
Yeah.
But I think that was a part of Sue, helping bringing him down from that stuff. Gotcha. But you have to think this man's brain is on some whole different level. He's constantly doing stuff in the books. He's constantly making stuff that once again he forgot that he made, or he's just constantly dabbling in things, probably to the detriment of his family. Ben is like the constant. I have to figure out how to get him changed back, and then I have to do this, and there are always these threats. And I got to come up with. How many times have you read a story when Reed has already come up with a countermeasure for something that actually haven't even happened?
Right.
Like a part of the House and Powers of X afterwards was Professor X and Magneto coming to him to basically say, "You made this device to basically take away mutant powers." You guys know I would never do that. No, we know you wouldn't, but we don't want this getting in the wrong hands.
Right. So the mind wiped him.
Family, coming after your family and forcing you to make this thing. And so we're going to make you so that you're not going to forget it. You're not going to forget that we did this to you. And on top of that, you're not going to forget that you made this device. You're just never going to remember that one thing that allows it to go through. But
that was gangster. I read that. That was gangster.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, but that's to show you he's thinking about, like in the movie, he's like, I'm thinking about all these bad things before they happen so they won't.
Yeah.
That's a
Mhm.
perfect example of it.
That isn't that what parents do? I mean, even with, Trey, with your dog, man, like, cause you're a dog dad right now, and so you find your mind going through like, okay, let me see what I can do to prevent this and this in case this and this happens. You know, isn't that not a parent mentality? Like running through the numbers and running through the statistics and like, okay, this could happen, that could happen. Like, I mean, just keep it real with me. Am I the only one? Because I'll be honest with you, I do that a lot. You know, for my daughters, I'm thinking like, okay, if she's going on a beach trip, she need to have mace, she need to have a taser, she need to have I don't even know what the tool is that has. It's almost like a brass knuckle with spikes on the end or whatever. I mean, she got
Bro,
to have all that to make sure she's protected because um, and she went down on the week that that poor woman, that poor girl who went with some friends, and I think they went to Mexico or something, and
oh,
she
and they beat her, they jumped her. Yeah,
right,
that was
right,
horrible.
right. So you know, that, like I run through all of that. So do you guys not find yourself sometimes like caught up in those moments where you're overthinking? Like, let me try to account for every single thing. I mean, it's tiring, is it not? Now we know because that's not supposed to be necessarily what we should be doing because God controls all of this. You know, He already knows how everything's gonna go down. But do you find yourself ever in that mood where you're trying to like you're like Reed and just thinking about all the worst case scenarios and how to combat them?
Well, I'll say this. I think what I really liked about the characterization of Reed, because I think this speaks to what you're talking about.
Hmm.
It is he showed the burden of that
Hmm.
power. You know what I'm saying?
Of that brilliance.
Of that, right? I mean ultimately that's his thing, right? He's that. If he doesn't think that way, the world ends.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And he understood that. Like I really like. There were moments with Reed, like I'm not in the medical field, so I can't
Right,
give an
right,
opinion
right,
in terms of neural divergence and those things. But to me, it didn't
right,
seem that
right.
way. What it seemed like to me is just a person who understood the responsibility. That's what it seemed like to me. It was like, look, man, I have to think this way. Now, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. When they had the egg teleporting, I was like, you're gonna do it with the world. That's far fetched. But ultimately, that's the way he was thinking, man. That's the way he
Hmm.
was thinking. Even when, they talked about, Galactus wanted Franklin.
Yeah, yeah.
Reed didn't think about that as a possibility because he wanted to. He thought of that as a possibility because he had to.
Yep.
Mm.
He
Right.
had to think of
And
that.
he had to prevent it.
And
What
he
do I
had
have to
to.
do to prevent it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
so,
and I fully believe that at some point it crossed his mind as a consideration.
right.
To give
Because
up Franklin?
yeah, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you why. Because they're the Fantastic Four, man. Their
And
Mm.
job.
so he was I don't know the classification and what number he is, but they always talk about the 8 smartest people in the Marvel MCU, and
Yeah,
he's one
yeah.
of them, obviously.
Yes, he
Um,
is. Hmm.
and Black Panther's on it.
And Tony
Luna,
Stark, yeah.
um,
Amadeus Cho, I think, right?
Amadeus Cho, uh, but
Okay.
like the thing about it is somebody else is on that list, and he does the same thing, but he's a playboy. It's
Yeah.
Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
He does this. They even to a point where they called him. He coined a term called a futurist. Remember
Yes,
that?
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes.
So he's doing the exact same thing. He did it in the movies. He kept making the same mistake because he's like, it's up to me to like, but because Tony carries this arrogance and this flair and this
Yeah.
charisma to it,
Yeah.
Hmm.
it was no different.
Right.
Reed is
Right.
just awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
And maybe
is,
that's
yeah,
the condition that the lady's talking about because he
yeah.
does not do things socially. He's not out partying in the meantime and drinking and doing all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
And as far as we know, in the universe that they're in, are they the only heroes?
It
Right,
seems to be that way as far as we know, right?
Right. Right. So
Which
right.
yeah, so that's tough, man. That's tough.
so that
And
yeah,
there's this idea that, Reed has an arrogance to him too, right?
Yeah.
But in this movie, it didn't come across as arrogance. It came across as matter of fact.
Do you know when
mm,
that arrogance gonna show up? When that person that was in that empty chair in the in
Oh,
that
yeah, yeah,
da,
yeah.
da,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
da.
Yeah.
that's
Ooh,
I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna play that, and
all
because
roads lead to
everything
me.
that yes, everything to this date has shown that they had a relationship. There was always this competition with those two, and I wonder if they're gonna continue to go with that theme, because I think that's important with those two.
Oh yeah. What I don't like is this AI generated video that's out that's supposed to attach itself to the mid credit scene, where we see that Sue goes to get Franklin a book, and she comes back and she knows someone's there, and then we see the green hooded figure
Mhm.
with Franklin, which of course we know that's Doom. If you haven't seen the AI generated attachment, it finishes it off, quote unquote, to where it pans over to Doom's face, and then Franklin is asking, "Who are you?" And then the mask is removed, and it's Robert Downey Jr.'s face saying, "I'm a friend of your father's." I'm
Mm.
like, why do we have to attach AI to this? Like,
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
his
yeah.
then the mask was already off.
That's what I'm saying. It was in his hand.
exactly, exactly.
He
He
was
might have healed his face for all we know, but I don't like that. But that's not a critique of the movie. That's just a critique of social media, per se, AI related. Hopefully, AI don't come after me for saying this. But anyway, but
Skynet.
but Trey, because you brought up something earlier, Trey, about this movie, and then about all the Marvel movies that have been missing. And let's go ahead and lump in the Marvel TV shows that have been missing as well.
Mhm.
So Kevin Feige, and it's to paraphrase him and not quote him. He talked about how the Fantastic Four, why it worked, as opposed to, and I think he used Thunderbolts, or maybe he used a lot of the Marvel movies, but he said that there wasn't any homework involved in them. Do you really think that's the reason why these movies have been missing? I
Nope.
mean, all right. So why do you feel like they've been missing?
They were trash.
Matter of fact,
Care to elaborate?
Louis Richards, I have you. You have the floor.
Yeah, they were trash. They just weren't good. They just weren't good.
Because he said Thunderbolts, there was too many characters who weren't in movies prior that they first appeared as shows, and people didn't recognize them like
No,
that. The whole, all
people
right,
didn't go see that movie because the movies that preceded it were trash, and you
Mhm.
okay.
lost trust.
Mhm.
Ah,
That's it. The
okay.
first the first movie that you try to win people over with can't be the movie about these obscure
Character.
villains that nobody even really knows. That's the only
Mm-hmm,
thing. Like, okay, and I love what's
Yelena.
yeah, I love Yelena,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm,
but she
mm-hmm,
was I don't know. I mean, I know her because I watched the things that she was a part of.
mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm,
if you did, who cared about Black Widow, right? It was a
And
streaming
mm-hmm.
movie,
Ghost. I
and,
thought
and
Ghost was dope, but Ghost was like a side character that went off into the.
yeah,
Taskmaster can manipulate, can got that photographic memory where he can,
Yeah, but
or she can
they,
memorize every skill. Like that's so wasted on a
but that's the
quick
whole
cop
point.
out.
You said she. That
Yeah.
people were pissed about the fact that, and they handled that with extreme prejudice, which I was like, who knows to you guys?
yeah, yeah.
So
And the truth is, even of the characters
USA.
that of the characters that they could have killed, the only character that you could have killed out of that bunch was Taskmaster. Because
Mhm.
Taskmaster didn't have a foot in this, right? She was
Right.
a
yeah,
villain that didn't
right.
talk,
Yeah.
that she
And that
showed her
was
face.
a
Yeah.
woman that should have been a dude that people were pissed about.
I mean, even beyond, if it was a
As of
dude,
another
I would have
dude.
said the same thing. Just based on the character itself, not necessarily based on whether it should or shouldn't be. But yeah, U.S. Agent. If you didn't watch Falcon and the Winter
Falcon the Winter
Soldier,
Soldier.
why you wouldn't know anything about U.S. Agent? So you can't make that, because look, as much as I didn't enjoy Thunderbolts, I thought it was a good movie. I just didn't enjoy it. Now, with that being
Mm-hmm,
said,
mm-hmm.
I'm not, if I'm not into this stuff, I wouldn't have gone to see the Thunderbolts anyway. And part of me only went because I knew we were going to do a review on
And I didn't want to see it. I went,
Yeah,
actually,
you
I
said that
watched the
vehemently, Doc.
trailer because I was like, oh, I'm not watching. I was with you, right? And I was
Yeah,
like,
you was with me.
I'm not watching this, so I'm gonna watch the trailer. And I was like, oh dang, I think I'm gonna go watch this.
So
it.
so what about the excuse of Captain America: Brave New World? It was
It was
quoted to him.
trash.
It was quoted to him that it was trash because Chris Evans wasn't in it, and this was the first Captain America without him.
Listen, Kevin Feige is capping, as the kids say.
Mm,
Captain America, whatever it's called, was
uh,
trash. It
Brave
was
New World.
trash. And if you would have put
The best part about it was Isaiah.
Yeah, and if you would have
Yes.
put Cap in it, Cap would have been in a trash movie.
Right.
So no, no.
Right.
Ouch. Because yeah, they
I think
and I
AI
saw him.
broke Trey.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a mic drop. But no, that yeah, the people were going in on that reasoning specifically, and you probably could understand more so because you have an African American who's in a prominent role, a comic book character role, and it didn't launch like it should have. I mean, the movie was heavily edited and heavily reshot so many times,
Are you
and
talking about
apparently
Brave New World?
yes, and it was originally called New World Order.
Right.
It emphasized heavily on the Serpent Society, and there was some images leaked that Isaiah Bradley was to be wearing some type of Captain America outfit that he wore back when he was doing his thing. And so you had all the. Now I would have loved to just see that on him,
Right.
but then they pivot towards let's make this the sort of Incredible Hulk sequel.
They got
You
scared.
know, and
Right.
then Red Hulk was everywhere, which I and then read that it was supposed to necessarily be under wraps, but they
Bro,
it broke under wraps for some
you
reason. I
lucky
don't
that
know.
I didn't watch trailers. I was pissed for people when I finally saw the movie, and I was like, oh dang, this whole fight scene was in that Progressive commercial. Like, this is crazy. That's horrible.
Horrible, man. And
Wait,
and
that's what we watched, not Thunderbolts.
and I'm gonna tell you this too, man. I hate to put it. No, I don't hate to put it this way. They lack confidence in black characters.
Mm,
Period. They lack confidence.
that they
Honestly,
can carry it.
I was a tad bit offended that you told me that I needed white Captain America in the movie for it to go. When the movie was
Mm,
trash. It was
yeah,
trash. Now
yeah.
I understand Kevin Feige's not gonna stand up there and say, "Hey, the reason nobody wanted to see these movies is because we've been on some bull lately." He wasn't gonna say that, but it's like, come on, man, like, don't they do this too much, right? That's
Mhm.
that's even been my complaint about the Black Panther movies. The Black
Okay.
Panther movies were the first one. The reason I didn't really like it is because it was an ensemble movie. Let Black Panther be Black Panther. He's dope enough by himself to make a good movie. Let it happen,
You didn't like
right?
Black Panther?
No,
Yeah,
no.
Mo, we've established he didn't like Black
Oh, you're
Panther.
right. You're right. I guess you need
Like
a
I
shirt
just
too.
no, I want that shirt with Black Panther. I love the character, and I just Black Panther is a dope character, bro. Let him
Mhm.
be dope. I don't
Let him
need it
cook.
to be. I don't need it to be the story of Wakanda. Let it be the story of Black Panther. That's cool. The Black Panther. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna get off that horse.
So okay,
But
what
my
worked?
point remains the same. What worked
So
in
what
Black
worked?
Panther?
No, what worked with Fantastic Four that made this a hit then?
I agree that it was because they went back to the idea of just letting the movie live by itself was a big part of it. They removed it from the universe that they had already established, so you didn't
Yeah,
have to worry about these other things. Because I
yeah.
would be in some of those Marvel movies and be like, nah, where Thor at?
Right.
Ah, you
Can't he
sound like
come
my
handle
wife.
this? Yeah, can't he come handle this? But that was smart.
Wait,
And
so the movie that you hate, what did Okoye say? You had her hidden up here. Why is she not down here fighting with us?
right,
Talking
what
She
are
was
we
about
protecting Vision.
what are we talking about? So yeah, like and even though to me each individual character wasn't fleshed out, I
Hmm.
thought the family dynamic was there. I thought Reed and Sue's dynamic was great. I thought that Sue, the thing that they did right about Sue that they often get wrong about other female
Hmm.
characters is that
Hmm.
she didn't feel like she was pretending strength.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
She had a
Hmm.
reason. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And she
legitimately.
was front and center. Like as much as all
Hmm.
the important moments in this movie were Sue
Hmm.
Storm moments.
Yeah.
She's the most powerful of the family.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like
but
she.
even her power wasn't based off of her ability, right?
Hmm.
When she came out with the baby and she was like, "Look, I'm not giving my kid up, but we gonna protect y'all.
Right.
I don't
Hmm.
have to like us protecting our kid does not mean we're not gonna protect." That was a powerful moment, bro.
It was a
Hmm.
powerful moment, and I was sitting here and I'm like, I can't believe more women aren't sitting here like y'all crazy. I'm standing with Sue. Like I'm like,
Oh,
which
that
one
was
of y'all
wild.
would give up y'all baby? Like
Yeah.
I
That
know
was
there'll
nice.
be some selfish people, but I'm like, I need some of these other women to just step up and be like, yeah, nah.
Like no women should have been like. They should have all been pretty. There should have been no women protesters, in my mind, But
Maybe.
No, I feel like there would be, but to say like
really,
globally that universally she didn't have no other women step up with her, like I
Sure,
was like,
yeah, she would have had some women, but I
she
also
would have
look
some
at it.
people.
But also, I would look at it like I think under normal circumstances, if we're in the real world, there are women
I was
that
about to say, yeah.
say it. But
Yeah,
your job is to protect us.
right,
I think
Mm.
that was the dynamic that made that interesting. No.
right.
Your job is to protect us. We're used to you putting your life on the line.
And there is the thing. They have put themselves on this pedestal that we are always here. We are the protectors. Reed basically was saying, we're going to figure this out. We're going to do it. And they always did it.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't.
Yeah.
So, question: If you were Reed,
you conditioned the world to say, we're going to be your saviors always.
Yep.
And you didn't.
if you were Reed, would y'all have told them they wanted our baby?
No, heck no.
Yeah, not at all.
But I can see Reed doing that.
Yeah.
But you said, nah, I don't know what he wanted. Listen, we'll figure it out though. Just hang tight. Just sit back.
He's coming for us. We got to figure it out.
Yeah, that's it.
That secret would have died with me.
Yeah, that would have done nothing. Nothing.
Y'all silly.
Nah.
Okay. So then the last thing, because we did a good job really hitting every topic here. The last thing, let's talk about the critiques. We talked about how Benjamin Grimm, aka the Thing, there wasn't enough of his inner turmoil of being the Thing. I voiced my opinion on the CGI baby, and then I heard you, Doc, talking about the height of the Thing. Are there any other critiques? I will say that
I said she was OP.
Yeah,
she was OP.
She was OP, bro. She can't go toe to toe with Galactus like that.
I'm gonna argue that because listen,
you can't argue that.
The mother who lifted up that car off of adrenaline, that's Sue times 10.
And it can be it can be KO times 100, bro.
No, you did.
I'm putting in some Dragon Ball Z. She can't do that. Now, with that said, I do appreciate that there was a consequence for her going all out.
Sure.
She died.
Sure, absolutely.
She died as a result of her doing that, but she can't do that. Yeah. It usually would end up with her dying anyways, and then the party's going over. But I appreciated it. I loved it, but she was OP, bro. She is, and it can be debated. The strongest member, like she's the most, not strongest, she's the most powerful member.
Yeah, powerful. Absolutely.
She can be sick if she wants to do it.
Right. Malice, right?
But yeah, no, she couldn't do what she did.
Malice got that S&M outfit and everything. It was made back in the 70s, so that's how they did it.
No, but even if she wasn't doing the Malice thing, I've seen her basically when she's like put a force field over somebody's head and been like, "I will kill you." Like she can do nasty things if she wants to.
Yeah.
And the comic book
turning invisible, and so somebody can't see you. Those force fields can be wicked.
And if I'm gonna tell you, if you are Mr. Fantastic,
yes.
Oh, what?
I'm just saying, invisible, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh gosh.
She turned off the optic nerves in Wolverine's eyes.
Yes.
In the comic book, and I was like, "Yo, I didn't know she could do that." Like,
that's what I'm saying. She could do some wicked things. I will say also, Mr. Fantastic. I wanted him to get. I've seen him do some pretty, no pun intended, fantastic things with his stretching, and he seemed kind of limited in this.
Yeah, I agree.
I wanted to see him cut loose, and maybe that'll come with the other movies. But he's smart and he's creative with his genius with that stretching. I don't think he got a chance to be showcased.
Okay.
I just want to point out how Jay just got over, just moved past my joke.
I know he did.
yeah, I missed it. What was the joke? I missed it. I really did. Hold on, because I missed it. What?
I just said. Wait.
Because you were talking about she being Mr. Fantastic and she invisible. I thought you were just like, okay, she can sneak up on him and not him not knowing that. That was the innuendo. I thought you were insinuating.
You're not that far off.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay. That's where I was. So if it was past that, you're gonna have to help me.
Yeah, we got to keep it
We gonna keep
All
it.
right, we'll text it. Okay, all right. But anyway, moving on. I wanted Alicia Masters. If there was going to be any type of hint of a love interest, let it be Alicia Masters instead of this school teacher, played by the actress who starred in a lot of things, including Orange Is the New Black. I didn't really see the relevance of a made up character like that, to show any type of affection towards Ben. She could have just very well been Alicia Masters, who has an established history with Ben and being with him and being in love with him. So that's my nitpick as a comic book person.
But to your point, I think my problem with it was whether it was Alicia Masters or not,
Hmm.
it was just so like inconsequential.
Random.
Yeah, and random, and like he
Yeah.
just saw her on the street, she smiled at him, and then the
Hmm.
next thing he going to church with her or whatever that was at the end.
Right. Synagogue. Right.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
that was that's what I'm saying about being like that was he was
Hmm.
his who he is and the things that makes him interesting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
to me, the thing that makes him interesting is like he is literally a person alive in a coffin. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm. Ooh,
so
that's deep.
so there's a stress that he carries, right? But there is also a thing that he has to, as a hero, he has to
Hmm.
put that to the side and go save people.
You know,
Correct.
there are
Correct.
two things that I think that they did, and they did it very eloquently. Were one. I'll dive, rest for a second.
Hmm.
Alicia was blind,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and so yeah, I think that kind of helps in telling that story with him because they fall in love, and she always like she could
Yeah,
feel
it
him,
doesn't
and
matter.
she
Yeah,
still saw beauty in him.
yeah,
So yeah,
Hmm.
they could have played on that, but they didn't, and they got rid of that.
Hmm.
But they made it a point to show Ben doing all of these very delicate
yeah, yeah,
things,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
the cookies,
yeah,
Yeah.
like the baby, like the
Yeah. Yeah.
cooking, and doing certain things that once again he should be smashing through. It's almost like a showcase of the fact that he's had to perfect this art
yeah,
of not just being this rock monster that destroys things.
yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
I
Right. Right.
just thought it was always so it was poignant to me that they
I
kept
agree.
showing him, even to the point of him placing the individual cookies, and he never broke one.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
yeah,
So there were just some things about it that, to your point, they didn't flesh out other things, but with imagery, and
sure.
maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but that's
Hmm.
where I got it. I always saw him doing something that required a level of, you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah, yeah. Care and yeah, yeah, yeah.
care and
And
like nurture
awareness.
and safety and awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
And I
True.
think my final critique would be, as much as the family dynamic was there, it was great. I wouldn't have mind seeing the rivalry between Johnny and
Sure.
Ben upped a little bit, because if anything, they're known for that, getting on each other. Johnny would throw a flame ball in his
At
face
his
at one point.
head.
Right, right, just like, hey Ben, hey, just because, they would have that tit for tat going on every now and then. So it was kind of really light,
And
in
you saw
regards
a
to this
little bit when
movie.
they
And
were
maybe
like
that's what they
throwing the
did.
food and stuff at each other.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I actually kind of like the fact that there was a true like brotherhood between those two. Like you saw it.
Hmm.
It was a friendly little brother competition. Where in the
Hmm.
past it can seem kind of spiteful and like borderline, like
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
other Fantastic Four movies, like Johnny was really getting like I'm surprised Ben didn't choke him out with the
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
that he
yeah.
was doing.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you saw it there a little bit, but I actually enjoyed their relationship.
Okay, okay. We'll bet. Well, so far it seems like the last question then I have to ask, because Trey, you said you like the movie, but it's not a great movie. If you can, for those who don't, because I'm one of them as well, elaborate and help us to tell us what the difference is.
Between like no.
Like
I
and
mean,
great.
yeah. I mean, I think that like I can the way I judge movies, man, is like when the credits roll and
Hmm.
I'm walking out of the theater, how do I feel, right?
Okay. Okay.
And when I walked out of this movie, my thought was like, yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. Like
Okay.
even the critiques that I have, like I don't I don't know that because again, I would argue that
Hmm.
maybe Thunderbolts as a movie was a better movie. I didn't enjoy it as much though.
Okay.
So like
Okay.
this movie, I enjoyed much more than the Thunderbolt. So
Mm-hmm.
I liked. There were a few things that I really liked about it, right? Like I did
Mm-hmm.
really like the characters as a whole. There were
Mm-hmm.
some things that I thought because like whenever you just because it's not an origin movie doesn't mean it's not the
Yeah.
first movie, right? And so
Right.
with this thing, I
Right.
think there was some first movie things that might have been missing, um,
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't have to have for the origin part of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I thought that, like I said, I just figured out how to transport or whatever that is this egg. We gonna do it to
Yeah.
the world, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
that's not gonna work.
My brother was like, "Did they crack the egg to see if anything funny was going on
Right.
inside the
I
egg?"
don't think they
Like,
did actually.
no, she
No.
was like, "They never cracked the egg, Dad. Like, I would have done that before I tried to do that to the world."
Right. Or like you gonna make it disappear. Where are you
Yeah,
gonna send it? Like,
Uh,
and then
yeah,
what happens to the people when there's not no
right.
like
We're the yoke guys.
where is
Like,
right.
where is that? Where is Galactus? Right. I mean, they say the edge of the universe, but what universe? Right.
Well, my
well,
thing
that's
is,
the
Mm-hmm.
do
thing.
you just throw Earth into some other orbit? And then what happens to Earth now? Because it's
Yeah,
not in the same orbit and not affected by the same things, and gravity isn't the same all of a sudden.
yeah.
It's
Great
not rotating
question.
at the like that stuff was like, oh well, that's
But,
come on,
but
man.
that's a desperation thing. So
He
Sure,
I
was
will
desperate.
give you
Yeah.
a
sure.
pass on the desperation
But I
thing.
think
Yeah.
I get it was desperate, but I feel like Mr. Fantastic would have been like, yeah, you know what? We might kill everybody.
Right. He's like, I'm not killing my baby though. But
Right.
All
yeah, right.
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 So
So yeah, I thought that was weird. I thought that
bro, because of the last movie, I actually thought I told Kira, I was like, "Ooh, I'm having Rogue One feelings." I thought they were gonna leave everybody.
that's what I thought was gonna happen.
The-
Too. I
I
honestly
thought
thought
they
that
were
was
just
gonna
gonna be
happen.
like, "I'm sorry, but we ain't giving up our baby. We out," which would have been cold.
Yeah.
Would have been cold blooded.
So to your point, Trey,
Cold blooded.
that was the alternative. So
I would
hey,
have liked that better though.
maybe
What?
I would have, but
No.
I'm gonna tell you why I would have liked it better. Because it would have been impossible. They would have been like, we have no solution. We have no solution.
So you over tell me we have no solution. So what do we do? Just hang tight. All right, y'all. You
Now,
ready?
think
One,
about this
two,
now.
three,
Think
and
about
they
now.
gone.
But wait, think about Reed though. Reed
Uh-huh.
would consider it. Reed would figure out from a scientific standpoint, from a logical standpoint, from a matter of fact standpoint, it's probably more beneficial that they stay alive than that world. Because there are
and
other worlds that need saving.
that Sue is not giving up her baby.
Dude, I thought
Uh,
it would have been a bold choice.
Because
And
then they had to carry that burden into
yep,
the new place that they go, and they had to learn from that. So yeah,
right.
I was getting a bad feeling.
yeah,
No.
They
How
did
did you get
something.
over something like that? Allowing mass genocide of the entire planet. What?
yeah, but
Bro.
I
again,
mean,
when you are that powerful but can still
uh-huh.
be not powerful enough,
Enough.
that's
Mm.
wild, bro.
Yeah,
And we know somehow they end up in a different universe. We already seen in the post
yeah.
credit scene
That's what
from
I'm
the
saying. We
Thunderbolts.
saw
Yeah,
them leaving.
Right.
I
yeah,
thought that was the ending. I was
yeah,
like, "Oh, this is not good,"
Right.
and he didn't do
right.
Right.
that. But
Yeah,
whoo,
yeah,
So
yeah.
I know it was fictional, but thank God they didn't do that. Because that movie, I can hear Larry David's Curb Your Enthusiasm music playing had they done that. So what do we do? Well, I don't know about y'all, but we're gone. Dum, dum,
I can
dum,
see the struggle.
da, 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 da.
I can see the struggle of an impossible choice, but
right,
That's
they
crazy.
didn't make that choice.
right,
I
right.
wish again.
But it
I
was a good
know.
movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's just certain things. Like I said, I feel like Silver Surfer is an interesting enough character, a powerful enough character that you can spend a whole movie of
Oh,
Silver Surfer being there, and
absolutely.
Galactus is on the way. But because Galactus is not, they tucked him away just for the future Fantastic Four movies. He's gonna find them.
Mm-hmm.
We already
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
he's gonna find his way back. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they're pushing them towards whatever the future of the MCU is. Doomsday, obviously, with Doctor Doom in the post credit scene. So,
Mm-hmm.
so no, I thought if I had to rate it, I don't know, I
Yeah.
might give it a 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. Doc, Would you go see the movie again? What would you rate it?
Yeah, I would see it again. I would have it in I think the 8.5 range.
Okay. All right. That's out of 10 for
Yep.
both of you. Okay.
Yep. And
Yeah.
so,
Go
but
ahead.
before you even say that, I just want to also touch on little things like the Fantastic Car. Seeing that doggone thing,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was just little things like
yeah,
that. And
That was
it was
cool.
like
It was cool.
working.
yeah.
And
I agree.
then hashtag Superman, the movie, not the guy, the movie. This is how you evacuate a city. You
Yeah, I
when you
agree. That
see
was
Oh,
stupid.
something,
right.
Yeah,
Mo Man.
how
I can't
you
forget.
do that
yeah, yeah,
where you have a battle in the city, and
yeah,
guess what? There was probably somebody who's like, "Man, the world gonna end. I ain't leaving my doggone house."
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and they were gonna bite to the butt. That's how you save the vast majority of people. Not this
Oh,
nonsense where buildings are falling everywhere, but
Yeah, I hate.
everybody supposedly made accidents everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I
I
don't
agree with that. I hate that. I hate that.
hate it.
I
But
hate
they
that.
did this right. Good job, guys.
But
so I would definitely see the movie again. I'll rate it a 9.10. Only
nine
because of the
point ten.
I'm sorry, a 9 out of 10. Excuse me,
I say
a
God.
9 out of 10. Only because the CGI baby. I don't like the CGI babies. I can't.
Okay.
It's too freaky for me. But yeah, no, yeah. I'll tell y'all. I'll tell y'all offset about why they freak me out. But anyway, I don't like the CGI baby.
Before
And
we close out though, I
yeah,
will say the best Fantastic Four movie is still The Incredibles.
Yes. Which my daughter, dang it, what
go
happened?
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Look, every
Incredible.
time he says something critical, he gets like,
Mic drop.
okay, like, but I think it was cool because my daughter and I meant to tell them this, but I was like, they're not going to understand or care. But she truly appreciated it. She's like, Dad, that was just like the Incredibles. I'm like, yeah, the Incredibles basically got that from even from the Mole Man coming up. I'm like, they took that scene from the Fantastic Four, like first issue. You saw it in this movie, so it
Yes,
was a
yes.
nice little nod.
Yeah, it was good, and then definitely shout out to Mo Man. I mean, he was very small, but had a nice, impactful role. I mean, I love the banner between him and Reed as they were
Yes.
clowning each other. Like, yes, that is much needed, and I appreciate the little nods that they put out as far as touching on the bad guys. Like, so you think about that part where Reed he was trying to make sure the city was safe
Yeah.
for his child, and so he figured out 4 locations of 4 bad guys including Diablo, and I can't remember the other names, but I was like, okay, yeah, they name dropped that. That's great. Those are part of the Fantastic Four enemies. Yeah, the Rogue Gallery.
Yep.
So I thought that was cool. They name dropped Red Ghost in the beginning as well. I think they name dropped somebody else. I can't for the life of me think of it. But I thought that was really dope. That yeah, like you said, it's the little things that
Yep.
make a big impact on it.
Yep.
So definitely from us, y'all, Retcon, Fantastic Four, a good, solid movie. Definitely go see that. So, Doc, what is in store for comic books these days? So, name us some stuff, man, that people need to be on the lookout for. If you can, one DC, one Marvel, and one independent, if you got it.
Well, one of the Marvel books that I actually just finished that I really enjoyed was actually Aliens versus Avengers. Did you pick that one up?
Yes, yes,
Did
yes.
you finish it?
I finished it. It was great.
Yeah, that book was really good and
It
well
was so
done.
good.
Like that, folks need to pick up that miniseries. It was only a four-parter,
Yep.
but that's a good one. The big thing that's everybody's going to be talking about that's coming out in September, I believe, is the Batman versus Deadpool Batman crossover. Your thing
The
that you
money grab, right?
money grab, and guess what? There's a lot of people that want that doggone book.
I told you. I told you. I told
So
you.
yeah, I mean, but that's one of the big things that's coming up from. But that part is the Marvel part. Then it's gonna be Batman Deadpool in November
Hmm.
from the DC, part of it. So you're
Yep.
gonna have a ton of covers, a bunch of things coming out.
Hmm.
That's like I said, those are the big things that are coming up right now,
Okay.
and that are just kind of sticking out to me. So
Okay. But now, as far as independent, have you ever heard of something called Bitter Root? Because
oh, absolutely,
I
yeah.
saw that they're working on a live action with that.
Well, I think Regina King is supposed to be
Yes.
directing it.
Yes.
My
Now,
buddy
what is
JD
Bitter
told me
Root?
about that. Shout out JD, you're on it.
So, what is Bitter Root? What is the premise of that? If you remember at all, or recall,
Well, that's
for
the
those who
thing.
don't
I
know.
haven't got a chance, but I think it has to do, kind of with vampires and monsters and stuff like that. But I haven't had a chance. I have it, and it's just it keeps getting pushed to the side. But it's like acclaimed, and it's on my to-do list. Both times it's come out as a miniseries. The most recent one just came out, and I always get it for the store because I always want to support and show love. One of the artists was awesome, Sanford Green. He does a lot of stuff, but it usually does really well. I just get to a point like the first time it sat up there, and I was like, I'm gonna read it, and then all of the first issues sold out, and I was like, dang. So I had to wait for the trade paperback to come out to get it in my own store. But this one, I kind of wanted to wait until the whole series came out, and then I was going to read it. I've been doing that a lot lately.
Gotcha.
Just kind of.
So last thing, and I actually had somebody not on the page or the YouTube page, but somebody who watched our episode of the Black Panther. Is he being what did Trey use the word? Is he being anyway, it was about the world to come. And so, have you read the second issue?
It was even worse.
Oh my goodness!
No, I didn't read it. Somebody who was reading it because he's like, "This is so horrible. I got to figure out how it's going to finish out." But he basically he read it to me and he was like, "This happened. He showed it to me. That's why I sent a message to you guys saying, because I told you I wasn't reading. That's how I showed pleasure. I don't support it. I got it for the store for everybody else to read. I'm not reading it. That second issue, and he just went through it with me. It was even worse than the first. It is bad, bro.
How is that even possible? That's crazy.
Oh, you need to read it.
Now I got to find out.
You do.
I ain't gonna buy it. I'm gonna find out.
No, dude. You only got to come read it in the store. It's bad.
Okay, I'll be there Saturday.
That's fine. I'll be there. You read
I'll bring my nephew.
It's so incoherent and all over the place, and the stuff does not make sense at all. Like, it's so bad. And I hate saying that, but it's bad.
I'm actually ready. I'm not excited because it's good. I'm excited because I want to know how can you be worse than the first issue. Like, I'm just ready to find that out.
Look, was I wrong about the first one?
No, you weren't. You absolutely were not. No, you were right.
No, I don't have to drink poison to learn that it's bad. Like, learn from other people's mistakes.
I learned, and I'm cool with the label too. That warning label is good.
Exactly. That's fine.
Well, what were the warning labels on this book? The artist, the
No, that's the thing, and that's why everybody wants to give it the benefit of the doubt. But I'm not doing that. I'm just not. I'm like, I read enough. This is bad. Like, and that's the thing. I keep telling folks. Everybody gets caught up on the whole Black Panther being whited in. I don't care. That wasn't why this. That was just a culmination of badness. That's what that was. Like, everything leading up to that was bad. Was I wrong about it? I'm like, guys, it made no sense. It was all over the place. It was creepy. To this day, I still say I read so many different things since then where somebody used the term beloved, and every time they used it, it was in turn to their significant other or partner. That was a child, that I saw at the very beginning. That in itself set the tone of a bad book.
Well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here at RecCon with the Fantastic Four First Steps review. Before we roll out, Doc, give them the address so those who are local in the area know who to hit up for their comic book fixes.
427 East Catawba Street, Suite B, on the second floor, Belmont, North Carolina, 28012.
Second floor. All right, and we are out of here. Again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us if you enjoyed Fantastic Four, what you liked about it, what you didn't like, who were your favorite standouts, what parts could work. And if you want a custom-made shirt like that from Doc, or whoever made that shirt, holla at Doc.
For me, I'm gonna show them some love.
All right. Holla at him. He the plug. He know the plug. All right. Trey, sign us off, man.
Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and join us next time. Same RecCon time, same RecCon channel.
From Mr. Terrific. See y'all later, job turkeys.
All right. Cut. Just cut it. Come on. Yo. Just couldn't leave my boy alone, could you?